chance to seal it. It's done. It's Georgie Kelly. Rotherham United's pathway back to the championship is opening up.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is New York Talk, the Rotherham United podcast. Thank you for being back with us. We have been away for a whole week, and the world just seems to have kicked off for Rotherham United. We've had a goalkeeper leave. We've made 3 more signings. It's been fun. So we're going to talk about the signings that have happened, some of the signings that may not happen, and some of the signings that are linked as well. I don't think I've ever seen such a busy May. But for Rotherham United, well, let's see if it gets any busier. Tom's back. How you doing, Tom?
Yeah, I'm good. Feeling good. Feeling fresh.
Good stuff, man. Danny's back. How's it going, Danny?
It's going good. I think I've just about recovered from this weekend. This weekend just gone. Yeah, body weight in beer. Very fun.
Nice.
Yes, very fun. Mick should be with us, hopefully. He's on his way to a car park in North Wales. So let's see how that plays out.
What we're not telling you is that we actually left him in Sweden because he was that drunk he couldn't get on the plane.
Something like that, yeah. So Parma's with us, John S, Martin Holland. John S has mentioned about Rafferty, we'll come on to. Jukes says, evening, what a mad week it's been, yep. Kenneth Bowes Richard with us. Nathan Crabtree asking, hi all, have we signed anybody yet? I don't know, we'll have to find out. Shelley's saying Steve Evans has started his scattergun approach earlier this season. Okay. Let's go through the signings first. We've got the 3 signings to talk about. We will talk about Victor as well, because obviously that got announced while we were unable to record properly. So we'll have a sober discussion about Victor leaving.
You guys were drunk? Oh, you guys went sober?
Did you not watch the video?
Oh, I couldn't tell.
Yeah, we'll do that in a minute. Tom, 3 signings, 4 signings altogether, but 3 since we last recorded, again, including Johnson Clark Harris. How are you feeling about it? Is it very, very good news that we're getting business done early?
Yeah. No, it means nobody else can nab him, which is always good. Doing business early is always better than doing it late, and I think we were very good at doing stuff late under the last 2 managers. So it's very much a case of get it done early, get them in the squad, get them engaged in training, get them with the players. All good signs, yeah.
Yeah, Danny, Rotherham United do things to the extreme. Last season, I don't think we signed until probably July. And then this season, we've got 4 players in before the end of May. There's rumours that another one could be very, very close as well. This is new. And are you with Tom that it is good news that this is being done now?
I think with Shelley's comment about the scattergun approach, that's the sort of the lingering thing at the back of my mind with signing all these players at once. However, if we weren't signing players who are going to be top quality in League One, I would agree that it's a bit. But the 3 signings that we've completed since we were last on air is Rafferty, McWilliams, and Reece James, who were all quality League One players. So I think Evans doing his business this early is actually a really good thing. And just having a quick browse on Twitter, you can see we are everybody else in League One is green with envy at Rotherham and their signings. Like we've got serial promotions from League One with Reece James, Sean Williams, great young prospect from Northampton, and Joe Rafferty was part of the title winning team. My apologies, the phone's ringing in the background.
I love you still got house phone.
I know.
Is it dial ones as well? We have to.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is one of those phones. That's why it sounds like it's ancient. It's Steve Evans ringing. I'm signing for club next. Yeah. But no, 3 quality signings so far, and Clark Harris as well. I think it's all good. I think, and I'm fully behind the HMS League thing that's on Twitter. I'm fully behind that.
Let's do the devil's advocate, Tom, because it's important to do so. we've signed a lot of players early, and potentially one more to come. Is there a chance that you can sign too many too early? Obviously, we know how many we need. We need 15 players or something stupid like that. But is there a possibility that because there is good value in the window in August, there is good players available for not much money at that point. But is it good that Joe is available? Joe is available. You go get him, don't you, kind of thing. So there are two sides to this. It's not all perfect. There are some good players and maybe some better players available in 2 months' time.
You say that, but it's very difficult to assume that.
Exactly.
And like you say, they're available, go get them. And that's what other teams are going to be looking at as well. When other teams, I don't know, Reece James played for Blackpool a couple seasons ago. If Blackpool would have decided, right, we want him now, he might have turned around and said, right, I want to go to them. I've been there more recently. I've been there, this, that, and the other, and just kind of want to just do that really. So I think getting it done early fends off other teams, and it stamps your authority early. And not just that, but signing Clark Harris after 2 out of the last 3 seasons being Golden Boot winner and doing it so early stamps your authority, and it might have persuaded some other players' decisions to come to us rather than other clubs because they can see what we're doing. I think that's always a factor. But yeah, no, I don't know. I think it's good. The only way that I'd play devil's advocate with the signings, I wouldn't do it with timings. I'd do it with quality. Don't get me wrong; they're all great players, all great League One players. All have been signed on 2-year contracts, which means that they're not. If we get promoted, which means that we want to get promoted within 2 seasons, right? Do they improve the team as it is? I know they improve the squad, and that's why I'm playing devil's advocate. I don't agree with this. But do they improve the team? Is Rafferty better than Kyoso? Is Reece James better than Bramall? Is Clark Harris better than Eves? Yes and no in scenarios, but that's the only thing where I'd say, right, are we actually improving or are we just bulking up? And I don't mind bulking up, but it's always that's the only devil's advocate I'd play. But again, that's just devil's advocate. I don't agree with it.
Yeah, Promise says the way he sees it is we're getting free agents signed early and let you spend the money when the window actually comes. I think that's a good point. Good point, Danny, for anybody that's sort of very sceptical. Is you don't sign people who are at other clubs in May, or Victor's a rarity in that sense. The permanent signings who are already at another club will come in July and probably August time. So you don't. And what Rotherham did last season was sign free transfers in August and July, and that's where we went wrong last year. And I think that's probably where we're going right this year. He's free, right? We want him, right? We're going to get him.
Yeah, I think. How many players did we release this summer? Is it something like 14 or so total?
Well, including loans.
Yeah. So
I think 8 or 9 permit on contracted players we've got rid of.
Yeah, so we were a bit light on the ground anyway. So I sort of see Evans' tactic as being get the best free agents we can done early, get them in the building. So, we have some semblance of a pre-season so he can instill what he wants to do. And then any other gaps where we're lacking a bit of quality or he wants to really bulk us up and improve us in a certain area, I think that's when he'll go for his fee players, and actually go after him like that. I don't think it's a wide net approach and just scooping up all the free agents early. I think he knows what he wants to bring in terms of the players. And we found these players who are going to be free agents when the contracts eventually expire, but we've snapped them up early doors. So we have squad depth where we can. I think a lot of it is to provide competition for places. I think Reece James will provide excellent competition for Bramall. And, again, devil's advocate would say you want your quote unquote starting left back so they can build the bond with the team. But in terms of it being pre-season so far, it'll make Bramall up his game. But it'll also make Reece James up his game because they'll both want to be starting. And if that's the way forward through pre-season into next season, I think it's great. Yeah. It's I know Evans talked about Alex Ferguson in his post-match going, oh, Alex Ferguson knows plenty of Rotherham managers. But I watched a documentary about the 99 season for Man United, when they won the treble. Right.
Yeah. I'm just wondering how you're going to link.
I'm going to get to my point in a minute. Okay. And it showed like the lead up to that and how they built the perfect season and everything. and it was 2 players in each position, and it provided perfect squad depth. Right, and they were very successful because they could rotate players in and out when they wanted. And I think that's what Evans is trying to build: get the depth in, and then build the quality players when you can actually buy them.
True. Let's go through a couple players. Johansson in the comments, I know John lives on the South Coast, saying he mentions Rafferty having injury issues. He made 39 appearances for Pompey last season, Tom. Modern football is always injured to an extent. But if you're asking, if you listen to any manager talk about how fit players are, or recently retired players, they're always carrying some sort of niggle. But I'm happy that from that point of view, if he played 15 games, I'd be very worried. Played 39 games in a championship winning team. That's just league. And he's won the league with somebody. I think I'm not going to sit here and say I know loads about Joe Rafferty, but on paper, I think we tweeted out, he ticks a lot of boxes, and what we need is a plus competition if Kyoso stays as well.
Just a younger Peltier now, I guess.
Yeah, basically. Seems it, yeah.
Seems to, Scouser as well, which helps. But yeah, Scouts. Genuinely.
I mean, does it help?
Oh, no. Just the link.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah, got it.
Sorry, I was just doing Danny's whatever. It's good. He ticks a lot of boxes. He played 39 times. If 10 of them are, even if 10 of them are sub appearances, he still started 29 games out of 4. I don't know how many games are in League One anymore.
46. Same as we have.
Jesus. Fair. It's still more than half the season, which is perfect, especially if, as Danny say, we're going to go for the treble-winning 99 side and have 2 players in every position. It seems to be fine, and it seems to be he seems to be bringing in characters as well, people who are winners. I think he mentioned it in his interview. He brought him in as a winner, and he's brought in a lot of other players as winners, which is good. Reece James been promoted 3 times with Wednesday, twice with Wigan, Rafferty, Rochdale, Preston, and Portsmouth. So experience all over. And Sean McWilliams is, I always thought of him as a when we bought Crooks, he came in to replace Crooks as a kind of role, and I always thought he could have done that, but maybe not quite reach that height. But hopefully Evans can. He's clearly got the quality too. So it's looking to be, as someone put it on Twitter, a League One super team, which is brilliant. But if we keep building as we are, it's great. We're fleshing out the squad. We're bringing in players who can compete with each other and stuff. Would like to see, other than Clark Harris, that kind of marquee signing. I think that would really excite a lot of people. But yeah, I think the squad as it was before we brought in all these players was a very, very good League One squad. So bringing in these extra players to flesh it out is fine by me. I think that's what we need.
Yeah, I think you're right. Harry said at the start of the show that it's time for Evans out. It's been a full 26 hours, 30 minutes. We last signed somebody, shows lack of ambition, and we're destined for relegation. Good point there, Harry. Yeah, you've got to move with the times, haven't you? 26 hours is far too long for it between signings. But yeah, we mentioned the Clark Harris thing last week, Danny, that although Clark Harris has got a ton of goals, there was never a real success story behind Clark Harris. He had that one promotion with Peterborough, but Peterborough are famed for failure, essentially. Certainly the last 2 years, are famed for just not being able to get over the line. That's different with these signings. Rafferty is just a championship winner. As I mentioned, Reece James, there's 3 promotions in there. I assume Sean McWilliams got promoted with Northampton because they got promoted not long ago. So you've got players in there who know how to get out of a league, and that's what you want. It's all right signing somebody who's a really, really good player at that level. They need the know-how as well, and these 3 players, I think, seem to have the know-how. Yeah,
it's a nice balancing act of people who are. I mean, I suppose the only exception so far is Reece James, who you would describe as a serial League One winner in terms of promotions. But they all have success on the CV at multiple clubs that they've been at, other than McWilliams has only been at 1 club. But like I said, with Clark Harris, especially with his time at Peterborough and at Coventry to an extent, it's always like been there but not quite thereabouts. Like Peterborough have gone up and not stayed in the Championship, or he's won the Golden Boot, but Peterborough have missed out. They've won the EFL Trophy this season, but Clark Harris missed out because he wasn't in favour. It's always been there, but not not thereabouts. But I think with what Evans is trying to build, it's a mix of hunger and knowledge of how to get the job done. You know, like McWilliams will be hungry for the next step up, the next success. Clark Harris will be hungry for getting goals in and the success as well. But like Rafferty and Reece James, they know how to get the job done. So I think Evans is going to be that nice balancing act between someone who wants to have the next step up, but someone who knows how to do it, and then just mashing it all together into, to quote Twitter, a League One super team. And I think that's the successful teams have that balancing act between people who know how to do it and people who want to do it. It's like last season, we had players who knew how to do it, but it didn't necessarily strike us that they wanted to do it.
Yeah. Well, that's the difference between signing people on 1 year and 2 year contracts, isn't it? And that's, again, something we did wrong last season. We went far too short term, whereas 2 years, a bit of a... These guys need to play well because they're here for the following year anyway. I think that's probably a smart move for a lot of those players. I also feel we need to maybe temper expectation a little bit, Tom. These are great signings. On paper, these are all great signings. But nobody else has signed anything yet. So this makes these signings look even better in League One. There's going to be some strong teams in this league that are going to spend some money and have some strong teams in there. Is it, we may as well crown Rotherham United champions now, or do we need to calm down a little bit?
I still think Birmingham are going to be up there, definitely. I think, is it Duff went to Huddersfield, was it?
Duff went to Huddersfield. Darryl Clark's now went to Barnsley from Cheltenham. He's a very good manager at this level.
And Mowbray stepped down as Birmingham.
Yeah, they got manager. They're looking at Alex Neil and somebody else potentially.
Either way, yeah, there's a couple strong candidates in there. Obviously, Juventus is still in there. I mean, Bolton. Still there. We need
best team in the league, by the way.
Yeah. But seriously though, they are a good squad. They will challenge again. Whether they actually get out is yet to be seen. But yeah, no, they definitely will be up there competing. It's going to be a very competitive league, but one that we should be up there with top three candidates. I say top three because top two would be fantastic, but you've got to account for Birmingham, Huddersfield, two teams that have come down. Peterborough are going to be strong. They're going to sell their assets and get a lot of money back. I can see that. Is it Ronnie Edwards or something going for quite a bit? So no, they're gonna strengthen. It's going to be a tough league, really tough league. Nathan Jones at Charlton's going to fire them up, really. Corner commentary and Reg we know quite well. It's going to be a fun league, definitely a fun league. That's the only thing I can say about it is just strap in.
Yeah, get ready. Get ready for fun. We have a man from North Wales, car park. Mick, how are we today?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah, I'm not too bad at all. Thank you. For you?
Yeah, your voice is still gone, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not great. I'll be honest. It's a lot better than it was on Tuesday, though.
Mick does some shouting, as you'll see from the vlog, from Danny's vlog, whenever that comes out in the next few days.
Some shouting and some falling as well, I think, if I remember rightly. You fell on
a random Swedish man. You did. That's absolutely right.
I did, yes. And it almost broke his top knot.
Was it Tom Eaves?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Tom Eaves' his Swedish brother.
Yeah.
Mick, talk to me about these three signings. You got Joe Rafferty, Sean McWilliams, Reece James. It's difficult not to feel very positive at the minute for Rotherham United, as far as I can see.
I'm trying really hard. Yeah, I mean, we're set off like a train, haven't we? Transfer window even open, and as per we would probably expect from Steve Evans, he's straight in there, and rightly so. Obviously, we're struggling for staff, aren't we? We've been 11 actual professionals signed on the books. With 10, sorry, because Victor's now gone, obviously. So he had to start making his mark, and he's definitely done that without a doubt. We've covered Johnson Clark Harris already. The other three, I don't know a massive amount about, if I'm completely honest with you. But yeah, it sounds good. You know, some of the people I've spoken to who certainly know the visitors from down the road, Reece James, obviously being the one that's actually been named so far, are really sort of talking that player up, and the other one that's allegedly on his way, they're talking him up very much. So yeah, it's all very positive. Can't deny that.
Yeah, I think also Reece James, Danny, is a very, very versatile player. He can play mostly across anywhere the back line. I think he said in his interview he can play in midfield as well, or in the left wing. That's very much a Steve Evans kind of player who can do 3 or 4 different jobs, and it's like an all-rounder at cricket. You just need those few of those players in your squad, jack of all trades kind of thing, to fill in certain areas. So I think again that ticks the kind of box that we were desperate for as well.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said about the the 2 in every position mentality, it sort of covers a few other positions as well, just in case there's a few injuries as well. But Reece James strikes me as the sort of player that, again, he has something to prove. He only made 11 appearances for Wednesday last season in all competitions. So he's got something to prove as well. And I'm sure he'll go out there and he'll have that hunger to, prove Steve Evans right for signing him. But also, like I mentioned earlier, he knows the level and he knows what he's doing. And he'll muck in wherever he needs to. I think that's the vibe I get from him. Is a type of player who mucks in and gets the job done wherever you play him. Maybe not up front, because he's naturally a left back, but certainly across the back line and dipping into midfields, he'll muck in and get the job done, I think.
I mean, Steve Evans put Connor Salmon on wing, so anything's possible in terms of playing anyway.
I suppose.
When the club put the message out about recognising this familiar voice, Adam Lafondra got confirmed they'd left Hibs on the same day. So for just a brief moment, I thought, oh my God, Alfie's coming back.
You never know. There's still time.
There's still time. I remember Reece James from the first time he came. And I remember he was a very, very good player. He was a very attacking player, from what I remember, very attacking fullback. That's 10 years ago, so I suspect his game's moved on significantly since. But I remember being disappointed that he didn't stay when he was with us. He's here to have to prove himself again, so hopefully that play pans out as we hope it will. Alfie asking about anything about the Joe Powell rumours. Yeah, this is the latest rumour from Burton. The rumour is he's next up to sign permanently. We don't know, obviously, any specifics on that. It looked like Byers was going to be permanent sort of a few days ago. That now looks like it's cooled down. Byers might not happen now. We're still early in the window. Things can still change significantly. It could be in a month's time, and Byers might still turn up. We will have to wait and see on that one. I don't know anything about Joe Powell, and this is the thing that when we come into the Championship, Mick, and when this season when we're going to League One, I don't really pay attention too much to the leagues above and below me. So I can't tell you anything about Sean Williams, and I can't really tell you anything about Joe Powell either. But they seem to come with quite good references from their fans. Really, that's the only thing we have to base it on. Really,
it is, yeah, and it's generally, not always, but it's generally a good sign. That fans don't want players to leave their clubs. So like yourself, and like I said earlier on, I don't know. I know very little about these other players, and again, like you, I don't pay attention. I don't pay attention to what's happening in Championship when we're in there. So I'm certainly not going to spend any time looking at League One or even Premier League. So, but the bottom line is, like you've just said there, they come with great references from supporters, and that's a good start, if nothing else.
It is, yeah. Tom Case says all these rumours about central midfielders makes it look almost certain that Jamie Lindsay isn't going to sign a new contract. Yeah, we're going very heavy in the middle, Danny. So that, for me, either says Jamie Lindsay's definitely not staying, or Hacks and Ollie could be on their way as well, because they're in the last year of the contract.
No.
Which will be disappointing with all three, to be honest with you. But we're signing and linked with lots of central midfielders at the minute.
Yeah, we are. I think the more likely out of the three of them will be Lindsay. I think. because he's had interest from Wrexham in the window, and he's been with us a long time, Jamie Lindsay. But he's sort of been that reliable player that doesn't really stick at the front of your mind. He sounds really harsh to say, but he's not done anything exceptional, but he's not done anything awful either. He's just been Mr. Consistent, I think, and it'd be a shame for him to go. But after how long is it? 5 years with us, I think it is. With Lindsay,
must be pre-COVID,
4 or 5 years, yeah. He's probably wanting a new challenge, and Wrexham would be a great new challenge for him. But I think the most likely out of the three to stay would be Rathbone, I think. And it also depends on the system Evans wants to play in midfield. If he wants to have a very dynamic midfield, that's a lot of running, and we know how much Ollie likes to run, but he can't do it forever. So in midfield, it might be just stocking up just in case someone gets injured, or we need to be a bit more play one system with an attacking minded midfielder, or play a different system with a defensive minded midfielder, which apparently Sean McWilliams is more of a defensive midfielder. And from what I've been looking up with Joe Powell, he sort of dropped a bit deeper for Burton Albion this season, but he's an attacking minded midfielder. So I can sort of see different systems being played in midfield, but I hope Ollie stays, and I hope Hack stays, because they tear League One apart, I think. And we've got Taihi as well.
Yeah,
keep forgetting about him.
We've got him as well, so maybe McWilliams is a bit of a backup for Taihi, and then that's the competition in that position, if you like. You've got Taihi, who's a bit older and a bit of higher quality. Then you've got McWilliams, who's slightly younger, but also has the hunger to break out into a first team role. He's already done it at Northampton. He'll want to do it again at a club that's ever so slightly higher up. Yeah,
well, if you think of the players, if Lindsay was to say, add McWilliams into there, add Joe Powell to that. That's 6 central midfielders already. That's probably already too many. So for me, I agree with that. I think Lindsay's done, which is a shame, but life moves on. It'd be disappointing. I think one other midfielder will leave. I can't see him not signing another midfielder between now and end of window, because six would be far too many. Well, at least one man too many, I think. So I think somebody else will be leaving, will be my guess. Now, who that's going to be, I don't know. But I can't see us having that many and not bringing somebody else in. So I think there will be some movement. But we'll wait and see. Shotgunner says Joe Powell has great dead ball delivery. Scored a few long-range efforts from West Ham's academy. We're desperate for somebody with dead ball.
Yeah.
Cafu leaving, Shane Ferguson leaving. We're desperate for that.
We haven't replaced Dan for that, have we?
Exactly right. Ryan says Hacks at centre half. Maybe I don't think I could cope with Hacks being a central midfielder for 46 games. Well, he's just got to be a midfield. If you're keeping it off, you've got to put him in the midfield. Mike Miller says let Lindsay go. Good occasionally, bang average most of the time. Time for him to refresh his career elsewhere.
I think that's right. I would agree with Mike there. You've just alluded to that, Matt. He's been here since pre-COVID times, and he's not at that. Throughout that time, he's very rarely tied down a first team regular spot. Whilst we know what he's capable of and everything else, he's been here long enough, I think, for him and arguably for us. And I'm not being critical of him in any way, but I think it's possibly, arguably, time for him to have a fresh challenge, like you said.
Yeah, I agree. I think in the COVID season, just after Christmas, he was our best player. It was comfortably our best player, and he did his hamstring. Not quite been the same since then. To be honest, even in League One, and you maybe expect him to be. Scott can also know about Joe Powell who scored a 40-yard worldie versus Portsmouth. I haven't seen that. I'll look it up when we're done. Tom Case says Taihi, Hacks, Ollie, McWilliams, Lindsay, Powell, and Byers would be too many. Exactly. So even if you take Lindsay out of there, that's still probably that'd be about right, wouldn't it? But then Stevens is not going to not sign another central midfielder, is it? Between now and the end of the window, it's too early to not sign one, if that kind of makes sense, because there'll be some good ones become available on loan or permanent. So again, I think there will be movement there, but we'll have to wait and see. Right, let's dip back to last Saturday Tom, the news got confirmed that Victor had officially left Rotherham United. Seemed to happen quite quickly, or certainly publicly happened fairly quickly. Just the Stoke movement, the Stoke move. I'm sure it happened took some time behind the scenes. We're obviously gutted. But we knew it was coming. How do you feel about the Stoke move? Do you think it's right?
It's an interesting move, isn't it? Because it feels like a I wouldn't say backward step, but it doesn't feel like a forward step. I don't think I'm out of place by saying that. It feels very much like like it's a project, and that can be good and it also can be bad. He may well be in League One with us next season, because they only very, very just stayed up last season by a couple of decent games. But I quite like Schumacher. I think he's a decent manager. I think you'll get a lot out of him. But yeah, I think it'll be good for him, good for his family. I think it's a really positive financial move. I think we'll all be a little bit Stoke supporters next season. Maybe not all, but we'll all keep an eye out. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, no, I think wherever he went would have been a good move if it was Championship, and he has gone. Yeah. So you can't really say much more about it. He's gone where he deserves to be playing at the minute. I don't think he's quite Prem ready. I might be in the minority by saying that, but I think his footwork needs improving before he gets to the Premier League and before Mick says, Onana and stuff. He is probably a bit better with his feet. But yeah, I'm sure it won't be long if he keeps on his trajectory.
Yeah, I think the rumor is the money's significant especially compared to what it probably was on at Rotherham United. Stoke is a project. I think Tom's right. Stoke's a project. I think Schumacher's a good manager. I think if you get things right at Stoke, you'll be fine at the right end of the table because the money's there. And I also think that Stoke have made some silly signings in the past. Victor isn't a silly signing. Victor that's a sensible signing for the money that he was available for. That says to me that's quite a sensible signing. They're not spending £4 million on that guy from Sunderland or whatever that might be, or something else. It's a sensible signing, which may be an hope for Victor's sake. That signals a change in their recruitment.
Yeah, you'd hope so, wouldn't you? And like Tom's mentioned there, with Schumacher as manager, he seems to be a bright young, one of the bright young things, doesn't he? Yeah. So, I mean, let's be fair. Arguably, Stoke City are one of the richest football clubs in the 92, aren't they? If you take away the top six who do whatever it is that they do to get their money, legally, they're probably one of the richest clubs in the football league. So, they've got the means to see this project through that they're talking about. And for me, yeah, it does feel like a little bit of a sideways move, perhaps, maybe sideways and slightly upwards. But, when it comes to his next move, he's more likely to command a significant fee from Stoke City than he is from Rotherham United. That's just the way it is, unfortunately. So, and as you said, we've talked about this many times about many footballers, and the career's short, and they've got to secure a future for their family, and hopefully, he's gone some way to doing that with this deal, and with the money that has been offered. I understand, speaking locally, that not locally to Wales, but locally to Rotherham, that Sheffield United were very interested and have been interested, but I don't think the deal that they offered was anywhere near. And to be fair, given Sheffield United's owners' previous performances and how they basically pocket the promotion money and pocket the parachute payments, and don't seem to spend it on the team or the club, then that's hardly really a surprise. So the bottom line with this is that Victor will have gone through this with a fine tooth comb, and if he thinks it's a good deal for him, it's a good deal for him. And we are forever in his debt for what he's done for our club, and I'm sure he probably feels the same way as well, because his professional football career started as a Rotherham United player, and he's enjoyed some good times, some really, really good times. So, we love him as much as he loves us, and we will look after him and we will look out for him in future. And hopefully, you never know, we might see him back one day. But I suspect it's more likely to be in the green of Hammerby rather than the green of a Rotherham goalkeeper's shirt.
Yeah, sadly, but well, not sadly for him, probably. Nathan Crabtree says he'll get him noticed more there, but as a Premier League club, yeah, exactly. You're more coverage and more spotted. You get more likely to get spotted. Sorry, than Stoke at Stoke than Rotherham United, even though they're not that fashionable of a team, are they? Tom Case says Sheffield United missed the trick. They're looking for a new keeper, and they're a top class keeper on their doorstep on the cheap. Could not agree more, Tom.
Absolutely.
But again, that's why I think it's great. That's what actually shows a bit of a change in thinking by Stoke, because it's sensible. It's a no-brainer. There should have been a no-brainer for about 15 of those Championship clubs. It just should have been. But it is what it is, Danny. You know, like I say, he's a great. He's the best keeper we've ever had, and I think it's a competition because we've had some wonderful goalkeepers, but I think he is above anybody else.
Yeah, he's certainly the best goalkeeper of the quote-unquote modern Rotherham United era. You know, the best goalkeeper since we came to New York, hands down. I know there's an argument for a couple of the pre-New York era, but Victor's top 3 easily of best goalkeepers in Rotherham's history, and he did that by working hard as a first-time professional when he came here as well, and he leaves a Miller's Legends. You know, some people commented on the little video we put out after a few beers, admittedly, and you know, some people said, "Oh, build him a statue and this that, and other," but he certainly deserves to be on the Walk of Fame round the stadium. He should be put on there. They should update little bits of it because they're out of date, but he needs to be on the Walk of Fame now because he leaves the Rotherham Legends. Absolutely. And I completely agree with what Mick and Tom have said with Stoke. It feels like an ever so slightly upward step. You know, it's not like he's jumped up a hill or anything like that. He's just took one step up, I think, both in wage and club size, if you like.
The wage is more than a bit of a step up, apparently.
Yeah. He's basically bare minimum tripled his wage overnight, I think. But I think Stoke's also sensible because he'll get first team football there, guaranteed. And I suppose that was a big selling point on which club he chose. Maybe Sheffield United weren't as much as a guarantee as first team football, but I think Stoke will be because they'll be looking to build something from last season. So I think it's sensible from Victor. He secured his future in terms of player development. He's secured a very handsome wage, so that's family wages secure. And he's also secured Championship football for another season as well, which he probably desperately needed to forward his career. And like Nathan says, he'll get noticed by Premier League clubs at Stoke as well. So it is a perfect stepping stone club for Victor. And I'm very proud of him for choosing a club like that. Just a shame that the city's a bit of a I'm not going to say the word I want to say, but you know exactly what I mean.
No, fair. Scott Kent says he thought Company might have taken him to Bayern. Jesus, let's not talk about that.
That's ridiculous, by the way. How can you go to Bayern after getting relegated with Burnley from the Premier League? Make it make sense.
Don't know. Couldn't do it at New York Stadium, could it?
Sean Dyche should be managing Bayern.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed just seeing Vincent Company lose every week. But now, anyway, Martin Miller says, we've watched Millers for about 50 years. Victor's the best with Ray Mountford for a season or two in the 80s as a second. Paul Rhodes says he's the best keeper we've seen since the 80s. They've been with us since the 80s, sorry. Mick, again, you're the longest one of us talking here. You're the longest one, I assume. You're saying is the greatest.
Yeah, he is, absolutely. Mike and I are absolutely on the same page. You know, Ray Mountford I loved as a keeper. I was lucky enough to work with him for a while and met him quite a few times, obviously. And he's a fantastic bloke, but a fantastic keeper was Ray. Unbelievable. But Victor eclipses him. In my 50 years plus of watching this football club, there is no doubt whatsoever in my mind that he will be my number one, without a doubt. So, we're lucky. We're lucky that we've been able to have the last 4 years having him play for us, and now we just stand and watch and hopefully admire the rest of his career back in the Sweden squad that was announced this week as well. So it's fantastic times for him, and it goes with all my best wishes. Absolutely.
Yeah, and obviously the content the club put out Saturday night was very, very good as well. Of the video of Victor watching the videos. If anybody, some of the videos that Victor watched were some of the videos that me and Danny recorded in the Cutlers as well. We sent that across to the club. So anybody that did record a video as us and wondering what happened with it, that would have been part of the video that was sent across to Victor. So Victor sat and watched your videos on a boat in Sweden on a lovely sunny day.
Funnily enough, after waving to us at a restaurant as well.
Anyway, yeah, this is odd. That were odd. That were very odd.
That was so funny.
Yeah, that were random. But yeah, we'll get it by Victor. We'll get it by the club. Very easy to get those things wrong. Very easy to get the tone wrong from a sort of media team kind of thing. But I think they nailed it perfectly with the video that the club put out. And the video of Victor watching the video was as it should have been. I think is the best way I can put it. Tom, any final words on Victor leaving, or just how he's played for the club and what it means?
Just excited to see who's coming in to replace him now. Should be a good time. Wish him all the best. He was great servant. He was a great player, but even better person, and I think that's testament to him. He was really, really good person. A lot of times you can be a good player and be very arrogant, and he really wasn't. He's a really, really good person. And it'll take him far. So here's hoping he. No, they didn't. Did Sweden qualify for the Euros?
No.
Never mind.
Sweden are sadly rubbish at international level at this point.
Yeah, well, let's hope Sweden's number one in a couple months. So.
Yeah, that'd be good for him. Shame he couldn't do it while that little Rotherham badge is next to him.
You talk about him being a good person, and I mean, what sums it up for anybody that might be listening that's not a Rotherham United follower? The last game of the season, we finished bottom of the league by an absolute country mile, and probably 2.25 hours after the game, he was still walking around the stadium signing autographs and having photographs taken and everything else. He's got so much time for everybody, all the supporters, and obviously what happened at the Cutlers in terms of the beer that he put on, and then made an appearance himself. A fantastic person.
Now we're saying about Victor being Sweden's number one. Wonder how much this is going to be worth in a few years. A Sweden hat signed by Victor.
Yeah, anybody got anything signed by Victor when he makes it? When Sweden make it to the next World Cup, just eBay it. That's all I'm saying. Just eBay.
I absolutely hate myself as well because I've only just realised on the back of said hat it says Johansson. You can't quite see it because it's lighting, but it says Johansson there on the hat. On the back, I've not noticed that until just now. That's really bad, isn't it?
I mean, how often do you look at the back of your own hat, to be fair?
Yeah, that's true.
It's not a normal thing to do.
No, I'm not keeping that one for the...
Yeah, I'm glad it's off. Right, let's pick up and hoover up the playoff schedule that happened over the weekend, Mick. Bolton will be playing Rotherham United next season. Poor Ian Everett, Mick. You've just got your heart goes out to the bloke, doesn't it?
You're joking. How is that possible? I mean, I was away at the weekend, so I didn't see the playoffs. I don't know what happened. But you're not telling me surely that the best team in League One didn't actually get out of the playoffs.
Apparently
that can't
not.
possibly be true. Well, I'm gutted. I can't. I don't know what to say. I mean, couldn't have happened to a nicer bloke, could he? Really? I know we've had a bad season, but Vincent Kompany gets relegated and Ian Everett don't get promoted. I mean, what it was? We were so close to that hat trick. If we'd have stayed up, it would have been fantastic. But yeah, well, how sad. I can't tell you. I shall shed a tear tonight. Of laughter. Oh yeah.
Oh, he's brilliant.
Yeah. some cases, Everett must be the problem. Everett must be a terrible manager if he can't get the best team in League One promoted for 3 years in a row.
To be
Maybe he's
fair,
the problem.
how long has he got left?
He can't have long left.
No.
At what point does it become a failure? Because
No.
Bolton are a big club. They've got a decent budget. I think they've got good owners. Should they really still be in League One after all these years of trying?
Even
Ian Everett's been saying they've won the league the last 3 years.
True.
Yeah.
Even Peterborough changed the manager when they bottle it every year. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So it's only a matter of time before Bolton realise what the problem is, perhaps.
Yeah. Oh, John Morrell says Ian Everett's been
Oh,
long with the
John,
Blues
no,
job as
you
well.
are joking, mate.
Yeah, really.
Jesus.
Listen, John, I because of you and because of the way that your supporters behave when they come to New York Stadium, I've got a real soft spot for Birmingham City. If that move happens, mate, you're out. I'm out. Not happening.
The question is, though, Mick, who do you despise more, Ian Everett or Russell Martin?
Well, the thing is, you see, with Ian Everett, there's a difference in there. Ian Everett thinks he's brilliant, right? And Ian Everett, he doesn't understand the fact that he's not capable of doing the job. Russell Martin, he knows he's capable of doing it. It's just the job that he does is no good. You know, I mean, he perfectly understands it. He fully understands what he's doing. He just doesn't know how to change it. And yeah, it's a difficult one. But I mean, the playoff final is coming this weekend. Is going to be a real difficult one to support, isn't it? You know, because nobody outside West Yorkshire wants Leeds to go up. Nobody. But if Leeds don't go up, that means Russell Martin's been a success. I mean, it's talk about rocking a hard place. Hopefully, we're still there on Monday morning at 99 penalties each, and we decided to just call it a draw and keep them both in Championship.
Yeah. Let's wait and see. Racecourse Rambles in the podcast, the Wrexham podcast this evening, lads. Great list to look forward to. Welcome to Wrexham next season. We'll certainly look forward to that. And
Absolutely.
Harry's just come in and said, "Hi, Racecourse Ramble. Please, can you contact your club to arrange Ryan Reynolds, Steve Evans meet up and film it? Thanks, every football fan ever."
Get that on the documentary right now. That has to be a thing. That'd be brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, if there's an episode of Welcome to Wrexham or a series of Welcome to Wrexham for this coming season, Steve Evans, that would just be box office.
He won't be here next season.
You didn't understand what he's saying.
He won't be here next season, and it won't be because he's at another club. It'll because he'd be in Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You're playing a Bond villain or something.
Yeah. Just about to say pantomime villain.
Yeah.
His next
All
villain
he needs to do is grow a mustache and just twirl it like that.
running down the dockside after Daniel Craig pulling his pants up. Oh, great.
Anyway, back to the real world, Danny.
Yeah.
Bolton have not gone up, and we can all laugh and joke at Ian Everett, but for me, them not going up is not great because they are going to be one of the better teams. Even if Ian Everett leaves, or more likely if Ian Everett leaves, they are going to be at the right end of the table. They're going to have a good budget. They've already got a good squad already. I feel like Oxford would have been less of a threat. They're still a threat, but less of a threat than Bolton.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. Because, like I've said, Bolton were the best club in the league last season. That's why they finished third. But no, Bolton will be dangerous because they strike me as a team that ironically do play for Ian Everett and he gets the best out of them. And they've been up there for the last 3 seasons and they will be very stern opposition. It's not like the Bolton team we played a few years ago in League One when we absolutely trounced them. They are an emerging entity. It's happening quite slowly, but they do seem to get a bit better every single season, if that's possible. And there will be a real threat. Like I said, Oxford were probably less of a threat. But, we have to deal with the cards we've been dealt now. And, if the Wrexham podcast, you're talking about box office, Ian Everett against Steve Evans, that's a boxing match right there, isn't it? Get that on the zone. That'd be brilliant. But I'm also looking forward to the competition Bolton will bring in. They are one of the teams that sort of sets the bar for this level, I think. And depending on how early in the season we play them, that'll sort of give us a good idea of what to expect this season. Because, in my opinion, League One's not going to be like the top lot and then the bottom lot. It's going to be a lot closer than people think it's going to be. Because I saw something on TikTok saying there's normally about 8 teams who are rubbish at the bottom end, and then there's the 6 brilliant teams, but 2 of them have already gone, and the rest are dropping off a little bit. So it's going to be a very interesting matchup, in my opinion. But I hope we play Bolton early so we get a gauge of the division, because I think if we play them later in the season and they've got running a little bit, that's when they could be very dangerous, I think. I would have preferred Oxford, but it's also funny that they are in the Championship with 3 stands at their stadium. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So the football's healing itself. You've got Luton's ground and Oxford's ground in the Championship that completely go against modern stadiums, and you've got the most League One looking League One in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
All we need to do is have England win the Euros and sorted for the next year.
That's the most unlikely thing. Anyway, we'll do a few Euros later. Basically, some of the Wrexham podcast said the documentary crew tried to go to nearly every game, but a surprising amount of clubs deny them access. I can't see they denied access at New York, to be honest with you.
No,
Big Steve will be part of that. Big Steve will want it all over that. So
that's something that might change as they go up the leagues. That might well have been the case in the National League and arguably in League Two as well. But as the further up the leagues they go, and I hate to use this term, but I can't think of a better one. The sort of bigger clubs, the PR is great for them. So they'll be all over that, and I think they'll get a warm welcome down at New York, I'm sure. So and probably at St Andrews as well with Tom Brady, he'll be all over that as well, won't he? So
John Morrell says the best thing is read today is Rooney is being spoken to by Plymouth. Which made interesting.
That came out like an hour ago.
The managerial stuff in the last couple of days has been absolutely insane. McKenna to Man U and Chelsea, and Maresca from Leicester to Chelsea.
United have contacted McKenna, so
it's just
going ahead.
Company to Bayern Munich as well.
Company to Bayern Munich.
I can't believe it. It couldn't beat Rotherham at New York Stadium, but Bayern Munich won. He was going to marry Harry Kane now. Honestly. Anyway.
Do you think this is part of the Kane curse? He's gone there to win no trophies, and then suddenly Vincent Kompany's a good option. Is it just Harry Kane strictly working his magic?
That's right. No, the manager will take it. Kane's there. Well, we're not going to win out anyway, so I'm not taking a job.
They've not even qualified for the cup competition in Germany because they finished 3rd.
Well, so Super Cup.
Yeah. So it's the first season where they haven't qualified, and it's all Harry Kane.
They went Euros, it was fine. League Two, Tom. Crawley are up. Crawley beat Crewe 2-0. That was a bit of a muchness, really. I preferred for Crewe to come up just because it's closer. But I think both those clubs, when they come up, will probably be at the wrong end of the table. So much of a muchness.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think they would have both struggled, but some of the football that Crawley played in against MK Dons was impressive stuff. Better than we played this season by far.
That's not hard.
Yeah, that's not at all. Actually, I retract that. No, they were good. They are a good side with decent players, but maybe they just don't quite have that push for a League One pushing club. But Evans did it with Stevenage. It might happen. You never know. Is it Lindsay? He's a good manager.
Scott Lindsay, I think.
Yeah, good manager. Decent foundation, I guess. I think everything about them and Crewe are a bit of a muchness, So it's fine. It is what it is. I think, like you say, they'll be at the wrong end of the table, but not to say they'll go down. But I like them. I thought they played good football, even in that final. They were good.
Yeah, I agree. They got the Crypto Brothers or whatever they're called.
Yeah, they're some sports crypto company. I don't think they're brothers, but Waggy
Me or something. We're all in. WAGMI, that's it. Yeah.
That'll last then, won't it? That's a sustainable future for Crawley.
Yeah. Well, they sold all their players at the start of the season, didn't they? Or last season or something. Yeah. They were favourites to go down, or one of the favourites to go down, which is why them coming up is a big issue.
Yeah, it is. I think Scott Lindsay Kate was their manager when they were in League One after Steve Evans, I think. And they brought him back in, and it's been a success.
Yeah.
But the owners are a bit temperamental, so I can't. If it's 10 games and it's gone badly, I'll not be there early. So let's see how that goes. Phil says, as mentioned, there's always a surprise packet in the promotion rate. Look at Shrewsbury, look at Leighton Orient. We've experienced both those clubs being surprise packages in the promotion chase. So there absolutely will be a surprise in there. Anything else, lads, that we need to mention tonight?
In regards to the £50 that will go in as soon as I get paid. To the hospice, as Rotherham inevitably did not win 3 games in a row, as I so nearly predicted at the start of the season. Along with my awful preseason predictions, I also have to forfeit. But it's all going to the hospice. So thank you for the bet. I can't remember who it was now, but yeah,
Adrak, I think.
Yes,
it was on the comments.
Yeah.
To be fair, Rotherham barely won 3 games all season, so it was not great.
Game it wasn't in a row, right?
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
Actually, could carry it on. We won last game. Does the first 2 games of next season? Does that not count as 3 in a row? Partially in the Championship.
You're trying to take money off of charity.
Well,
Good Lord.
fair enough.
Feel threatened, Matt.
That is, as soon as I get paid, that will go into the hospice. So happy to do that.
There's people mentioned there's a potential 9 p.m. announcement for buyers, so we're 2 minutes away from that. So we'll stick around for that just to see if anything happens. We love a bit of breaking news on the podcast. It happens so rarely.
I have a feeling it's not going to happen now. I have a feeling somebody's watching this podcast. It's like, right, as soon as they go off, I'm going to tweet it.
You mean like on deadline day?
Yeah.
There's 2 players after we finished recording for 3 hours.
Oh, really? Who
were there? People Wyke and Siriki.
Oh, I was.
Yeah.
No.
Yes. Wyke
We were still recording, weren't we?
No, we missed 2.
Oh.
We missed 2, yeah, definitely missed 2.
We went up to 11 o'clock, didn't we? And then the club suddenly tweeted, it's not over yet. And it's just like...
Oh, yeah.
The best thing was, as we were on the plane coming back from Sweden, we announced Joe Rafferty. It's like, excuse me.
Oh, yeah. No, because the club are waiting for the New York talk to be ready and wearing.
Correct. Yes.
That's the real conspiracy. Never mind Harry Kane. That's the real conspiracy.
Club has a vendetta against New York talk.
Yeah. Absolutely do.
I can see that. We really are just waffling to get to this 9 o'clock, aren't we?
Correct. Absolutely correct. Mick, Phil says, would you allow Kyoto and McCart to go on a free?
Not if they're under contract now. I mean, if we can get some money for them, then we should be getting some money for them. And the likelihood is that Barnsley may well come back to McCart, but I think they've changed manager again, haven't they? So,
well, they tried to sign JJ on deadline day last year as well for a fee.
Yeah. So no, you wouldn't let them go on a free. Absolutely not. Unless we're sort of final hours of the transfer window. So no, I wouldn't. I'm just looking at John's comment here about us and Sheffield Wednesday swapping players these days. What it is, it's that obviously Sheffield Wednesday are Rotherham United B. We just what we're doing is getting the players out there and letting them develop, and then taking them back to the A team. So it's just one of those anomalies of football that our B team is in a higher league than us.
Yeah. Shelley says, I hope Byers comes but can't see it. Feel like he might go elsewhere. I think Byers would be a great signing for this league. But who knows? He might not fancy it. It might be a low-end championship club that fancies it. He might want to take his chance and wait 3 or 4 more weeks if there's a better offer coming around the corner, which it's so early in the window. It's a bit of a risk for players to accept the deal almost because there's other offers that could come up. New managers have not been signed at Birmingham, Plymouth new manager, and all these other clubs. So there's a potential risk for players to actually sign. see how it goes. Anyway, it's gone past 9 o'clock and nobody's signed, so
Brilliant.
So yeah, there you go. Anything else, lads? Last call.
No, not for me.
Nothing from me.
Fantastic. We will be back on Sunday. Hopefully, there's something to talk about. We've not planned this, but we will find something to talk about on Sunday evening. Please do subscribe. We've got like nearly 500 people watching across Twitter and across X and YouTube. Make sure you follow us on X if you're not already, and if you're not watching, if you're watching on YouTube or even not watching on YouTube, go over to New York Talkers YouTube and please do subscribe as we get the numbers up over the close season. We will be doing the Euros. That's what we'll do Sunday. We'll talk about England. We'll start the Euros talk. England squad's been announced. The 33-man squad's been announced. So we'll talk about that on Sunday. I'll send some homework to Mick because he doesn't watch England. He doesn't watch Premier League much, so I'll get some homework. That'll be fun.
Thanks.
And yeah, we've got like we mentioned, we went to Sweden Mountains on the Hammarby vlog for the Hammarby game, which we will get out at some point soon. That's funny watching Mick fall into some random bloke.
Oh, he's so funny.
Can't believe you got it on video.
I know. Very lucky. Cool. That's it, I think. Make sure you like the video, subscribe where you are watching. If I choose Spotify, make sure you subscribe on there as well. Tom, pleasure to have you back, mate. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, really good talking to you both and Lee Frackrington for the past half hour.
Michael Klim, it's pitch black in the car park in North Wales.
Yeah, something like that.
John Bell wants to know, was Mick drunk in his Millwall shirt? They
Yeah.
bought another
No.
shirt.
Yeah.
Bought another one.
Yeah.
That's another thing we could have talked about as well. Mick spending an outrageous amount of money on shirts.
Grown
Well,
man. They don't use that
I
much rubber
just-
shirts.
Thanks for that. But I believe that my wife might be watching this and she's not aware yet. I don't know I spent on shit.
Oh dear.
Thanks for that, Danny.
Oops.
Oops. Mick might not be on Sunday. He might be grounded. We'll see what happens. Anyway, Danny, thank you for being with us and thank you for dropping Mick in it. That pleases everybody.
Yeah, no worries. It's what I do. At least Mick's got a new and improved version of the Millwall shirt in green.
No more husky on it, so it doesn't look like a Millwall shirt anymore.
No, it looks like a proper shirt now.
Which is good. Which is very good. And Mick, thank you for being with us. Hope you hear your voices back to full health on Sunday.
Yeah, thank you very much. And just looking at the time, it looks to me to be beer o'clock. So I'm off.
I like it.
Brilliant.
Lifestyle. We will back Sunday. Thank you all for being with us. And as always, up the Millers.
Up the Millers.
Slides into Wales through a goal, slots it beyond Fodringham, and the Millers are in front in the South Yorkshire derby. And for the first time in 42 years, Rotherham United win at Bramall Lane. On the edge of the box, the Dauphin, he can hit them, and he does. The Dauphin has scored an absolute screamer for Rotherham United. Rotherham United have secured their championship status for next season.
Do me a favor, drop me off